Yes guys, welcome to a brand new video. My name is Conan and today I'm gonna take you guys through my entire leg workout and ab routine. So I'm gonna sit down right there on the chair while explaining everything to you guys. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so as promised, we're sitting down on the chair right now and I'm gonna be explaining my entire leg routine. So I literally just came back home from my leg workout, so everything is still kind of fresh in my mind, so let's just get into it. Alright, so I'll be honest with you guys, legs have always been a really stubborn muscle group for me to grow, and I think this comes down to, first of all, I'm naturally just a really skinny guy, but also as a kid growing up, I was playing lots of sports. I was playing soccer every day, basketball, swimming, tennis, you name it. And during high school, I was actually a really good long distance runner. Like I literally, during lunchtime, I'd go for runs, like just for long distance runs around the track, around the neighborhood, because I just really enjoyed running. It's like one of those things where it's like, you know you're good at it, so you just keep doing it. Like I feel like that's with most things in life. It's like when you're good at something, like you just keep doing it because you're actually good at it and you enjoy just being good at that specific thing. So all throughout high school, I was literally playing soccer almost every day and then going on like long distance runs, which obviously does not result in big legs. Like doing lots of cardio every single day does not result in having huge quads. Like there's this big myth that people think that just because you played a sport when you were a kid means you should have super big legs, which is definitely not the case. Like when you're running, when you're just being active and stuff like that, that does not result in bigger legs. For those of you that actually did get big legs, that is most likely just because of genetics and not actually because of the sports they were playing. Anyway, enough about that. Let's actually get into the actual workout. So I train my legs 2 times per week, just like any other muscle group, and I've already gone over my entire workout split in a previous video. So if you're curious to know what my training split is, go watch that video right now and then come back here. Anyway, so we train legs 2 times a week, so this is the first leg workout I'll do in a week. So all my workouts, specifically my leg workouts, always start with a compound lift, and basically what that means is that they are exercises that involve more than one muscle group. So we started our workout today with a back squat, doing 3 sets of 4 to 6 reps. So you'll notice that it's relatively heavy in weight and low in reps, because towards the beginning of our workout we have the most amount of energy, so we can push the most amount of weight. So that's why the reps are a bit lower and the weight is a bit heavier, because again, our first exercise is always going to be the exercise we can give our most amount of energy into. After we did those 3 sets of squats, which mainly hits our quads and glutes, we moved on to a Romanian deadlift, which primarily targets our hamstrings and glutes. So with this, again, try not to go super heavy with this, and I really want you to focus on the mind-muscle connection. You'll notice when doing this exercise, if you go way too heavy, your lower back starts to take over, and that is not the primary muscle group we want to hit. You want to hit primarily our glutes and hamstrings, and a great way to do this is by actually thinking about actually hitting it and using our mind-muscle connection, which basically means that you're kind of just like imagining putting your mind into your muscle, if that makes sense. Like you actually want to think about squeezing and feeling each and every rep you do. So the best way to do that is by leaving your ego at the door, not going too heavy, and really focus on your form and really focus on getting a full stretch at the bottom and a full squeeze at the top to get the maximum contraction. So we did 3 sets of about 8 to 10 reps. And yeah, honestly, this is such a great exercise, especially if you use your mind-muscle connection properly. Your hamstrings should be burning. Alright, so moving on back to our quads, we're doing some leg press here. 3 sets of 15 reps, so pretty high in reps. And what I want you guys to do here is try not to lock out your knees at the very top. Try to keep a slight bend in your knees, just so you don't lock your knees out and you keep all the tension and blood in your quads. Because obviously when you lock out your knees, there's no tension anywhere, like you're literally just resting there. And so to make it a bit more difficult, don't lock out your knees and keep the blood moving in your quads by not locking out your knees. So these are honestly brutal, especially when you do high reps of these. For me specifically, I don't like going super heavy with the leg press because I feel like my range of motion is going to suffer and will actually decrease. Whereas if I line up the load a bit and actually focus on my form, I notice that my depth is a lot better and my range of motion is a lot better, which is good because the deeper your range of motion is, the more muscle fibers you'll actually recruit, which is like a win-win situation. So just like with any other exercise, don't go too heavy, leave your ego at the door and really focus on your form, get a full range of motion and really just focus on perfectly executing each and every rep. To finish up this leg workout, we actually did a superset of a leg extension and a leg curl. These should honestly just burn out your legs. So the leg extensions obviously burn out your quads, whereas the leg curl burns out your hamstrings. So by supersetting these two exercises back to back will just fry your legs. So we only did 2 sets here, but honestly after those 2 sets you should be completely fried. You should be done. 10 to 15 reps here, really just focusing on just driving as much blood in the legs as you can and really just like finishing off this leg workout strong. And then to finish it off, of course, we gotta hit our calves. And now, yeah, like genetically my legs aren't the biggest, which means also my calves are not the biggest at all. I feel like with calves, it's also a really big genetic thing. Like you either are born with huge calves or you're just born with tiny calves like me. So like you can't control your genetics really, so it is what it is. So might as well just put in the work and try to grow them. So yeah, with the calves, I do 5 sets until failure with each and every set. I don't really count the amount of reps I do, but I think it's between 10 to 15. And then each and every week, I'll try to either increase the reps or increase the weight. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire workout. So yeah guys, that was a brutal leg workout. Try it out. But before you do, let's go outside and go over our ab routine. Let's go. Alright guys, so when it comes to training your abs, I mean, I'm sure most of you already know this, and I've mentioned this so many times before, but for those of you who still are unaware of this, the only way you'll actually see your abs is if you're at a low body fat percentage. And the only way to get to a lower body fat percentage, if you're not there already, is by being in a caloric deficit, which means you're eating less calories than you burn every single day in order for you to actually like reveal your abs. So with that said, do you actually need to train your abs in order to see them? No, you absolutely do not. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen so many people that are overweight constantly doing ab exercises, thinking to themselves that, oh, I'll get to see my abs if I just train them every single day. But that simply is not the case. Again, the only way you'll actually see them is if you're at a low body fat percentage. So with that said, why should you even bother training abs? Well, I like to view my abs just like any other muscle group, so you wouldn't necessarily skip out on your arms or your chest or your back or your shoulders. I do still train them 2 times per week, usually after my leg workouts. And now honestly, it's nothing crazy. I usually just stick to like a couple exercises and I just try to get better at it every single day. And you can either do this by increasing the reps, increasing the sets, adding more resistance, decreasing your rest time, etc, etc. There are lots of ways to progressively overload with a certain exercise. So in my case, I really enjoy doing hanging leg raises. And now obviously I am grateful that I have this thing in my backyard, but if you don't happen to have this thing where you can hang off in your backyard or around your house, you can go to a park or even just hang off a pull-up bar at the gym. So again, I train my abs 2 times per week, ideally always after my leg workouts, and I'll only do like 1 or 2 exercises for 3 to 4 sets of about 12 to 15. But for the sake of today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my favorite hanging leg raises variations. So we'll do a couple here, I'll show them to you guys, and you guys can try them out after your workouts as well. So with that said, let's take off the shirt and let's get started. Actually, keep in mind, I did just eat something and I'm very bloated, but you gotta get it done. Let's go. Alright guys, so that's gonna wrap up my entire leg workout and ab routine. So again, very simple, very straightforward, nothing fancy here, as long as you just master the basics and progressively get stronger at them and progressively overload and get better at it over time. That's all you really gotta do. Anyway, with that said, I'm gonna wrap up this video right here. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to go give this video a thumbs up. I would highly appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.